Bad YouTube. I don't know, guys. Let's see. If you're all popping up, I'm looking for my video. YouTube decided to cancel my stream for some apparent reason. So, let's see. I need to take caps lock off. Well, geez, you're really talking about being a fickler here for something going on. I don't know. Let's see. Granted, I'd like to be able to live stream longer than an hour, but I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna have fun. Let's see. Guys, let's have fun and let's do a. Let's see if I can post it right here in the studio while we're doing stuff. So hold on one second. I'm gonna take a picture of us taking a picture of us. You guys can actually kind of see the setup. So we're gonna move this around to watching. I'm going to post this 1 second. We are still live. Come join us. AUG stuff part 2.5. Oh. I'll say we'll have fun. Maybe an Instagram live stream. Yeah, I don't know. I have to do some stream. Maybe they don't. No. If you guys are looking on Instagram or on Facebook, we just posted a picture live here in studio for what we're doing. Oh, okay. Well, if you guys, since you're going to tune into this one, and this is a 2.5 version, we took the AUG apart, and I'm pulling screws out of a receiver right now. So, they are definitely in there tight, and if you when you put these all back in, they do have to have Loctite put on them. You really do not want one of these coming loose. It will be a bad day when one of these nuts get hung up inside the gun and mess it up. So, it's pretty straightforward to actually remove it all. It's just really not breaking off one of these in there. Now, this is the one that everybody has issues on, and the easiest thing to do is keep this thing in the down position, even if it's a flat top rail, unscrew it, and then you're going to unmate the receiver and the optic, and you're going to see that screw hanging down? There's not a lot to it. There's only like 1/4 of an inch. Kind of show you guys. You can just leave that screw in there, and using the fix-it stick or using your wrench to hold it in place is a good idea. If you pull this out and go to put it back in, you're going to end up having to shake the top of the receiver around to shake that screw out, and sometimes they'll get hung up. They'll get in here on the charging handle in the divot. They get lost in there, so it takes a few minutes. Don't panic. They'll come out. You just have to kind of shake it loose and get it. But if you'll actually just pin it and hold it, you're good. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to leave that pinned and held. Put that right there. What was... it just popped up and it said violation, but they just ended it. They didn't tell me anything. I haven't got a email, nothing. They just canceled the live stream. Maybe they didn't like my display art. They supposedly have been doing some crackdowns on it, but I didn't think having display art on a table was an issue. So I'll look for it and deal with it later. Not to say that the overlords can't mess with everybody, but never had that type of issue before. So, all right, let's get into it. Let's kind of check out and see what this rail is going to look like. And let's see. That goes on. Granted, that's what is, let's see. Yeah, okay, well that goes forward. This rail is actually going to fully extend, and that's really cool. Guys, I'm kind of looking at this because I've never actually installed one. The big questions, I actually just helped out somebody the other day. Let me remove this. Okay. So you guys, see, shake it, they fall right out. What is the difference between an A2 receiver and an A3? And it's literally this ramp right here, this spur. This spur is actually in the same shape of the magazine, and this is where a QD stud goes, here on the front. So on an A2, it does not have this spike and ledge. The receiver goes all flat. So your SA and your A2 AUGs are that way. And everybody always wants the long rail. They want the rail to go all the way forward to get more room to put like a full-size optic on it, or to make it look, or use like the Corvos Defense. And for years, I mean, Corvos has had like the coolest rails. I think they're going to have a run for their money in this rail so far. Just because you can actually get the rail to go past, you know, the charge handle here to the front. So, yeah, Derek, I don't know. I mean, YouTube, I was discussing, YouTube was being YouTube for some reason and just ended the stream. So, good thing I actually save all this video. So, guys, don't worry. Like, if you're catching this stream and you're in the middle of it, I actually save all the video and I'll put it all together and I'll put it out online. It'll be a massive, like this one's going to be at least an 1.5 hour long video, so you guys will get the whole live stream in case the parts that they cut out or messed with or blurred. So getting into this rail, I'm going to mess with this here. There is somewhere I had, here we go, Loctite. I'm going to clean off the threads, and in all honesty, I mean, the AUG is a really simple system. It doesn't take a whole lot to take one apart, clean it, mess with it. One thing that I have done, and I will tell you guys right off the bat, I did it for a subscriber. He sent me his AUG. I do armory work. He sent me a bolt carrier group to have rebuilt. He sent me the actual bolt, needed a new extractor spring put into it, the pin spring, and sent it to me. It took a little time to get the actual roll pins and the parts. I don't think I'm going to be doing another one. It is the worst thing to mess with on an AUG is to actually do the bolt. So everybody always asks me, like, should I get spare parts kits, or like what should I have that wears out on an AUG? Buy yourself a new bolt and a new firing pin, you know, like a bolt rebuild kit. Keep a spare one, and I would send the one that you want to rebuild, I would send it to Steyr. Granted, yes, I will do them, but just so you know, that is the most miserable thing to have to mess with. I ended up having to invest into a 2-ton arborist press to punch roll pins out due to the one that I got that was so badly boogered up. I don't really want to say damaged, because the bolt itself was fine. It was what a person did trying to take out roll pins, damaged it, bent them over, just made it worse in trying to get it out. But it is very time consuming because it's super small parts and it's a pain. So if you do get into messing with a putting springs, the new extractor claw for the bolt, the casing face, it will drive you up a wall. I mean, I've got the books. I've done it in school. I've done it there at Steyr when I was there for my educational side of it. Like, I've done it, but doing it on a table, it was, a year and a half later, was a miserable pain. I would not recommend doing one. Yeah, Logan M. Yeah, no, they play with that. I don't know. For a while, they were doing the whole thing of you can't hold them, play with them, and like do live stream on that side of it. Mine was more table decoration, art, like whatever. We'll try to their rules and deal with it. It's not a big deal. Like I said, I've got the whole video saved. I can just upload it a little bit later. All right, let's see. We're going to pull the Loctite. Let's see here. Come off. It is nice that they supply Loctite. It's the one thing I don't keep a lot of around. So let me get this going here. Sit. All right, so we're going to put this rail on. Set it up here at the front. That's what it's going to look like. So that's pretty impressive so far. Now, just to install it. Now, what I do, just to make sure alignment's good, is the center screw. We'll set it in here. And I just set it. Doesn't need to be tight. Just needs to hold everything. So I'm checking to make sure clearances are good and fitment is where it's supposed to be. So, what are you guys thinking so far of that? Okay. Well, granted, I'll pose this question later on Facebook, Instagram, and that one. But for you guys that are here, if I got into doing a weekly live video or bi-weekly, what dates and times interest you all? What works for you guys? Now remember, I'm in Central Time, but I know there's some other YouTubers, they do like a weekly gun chat, hangout, talk about industry type stuff. But if I was to get into one, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, granted, weekends, guys, I'm normally out at the range or doing events. So weekends, let's try not to say Friday night or, Friday to Sunday. Let's kind of leave those out. But if it was during the middle of the week, what would you like to see? Hi, Screaming Skulls. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is, we've been having a fun night here. We've been here since 7 o'clock. Well, and a couple multiple streams. So if you didn't catch that, there's just been a fun fiasco for networking. Guys, also, when you put on this blue Loctite, it's, you just need a little bit, but coat all of the threads so you definitely get good lockup. And there we go. I'm putting like a big eye drop on there and setting it in. All right, the most fun one, like I said, is getting this third one inside that hole. That's the one that is a true pain. So, gonna make sure I really get a decent amount of Loctite on that. The best part for doing that is to honestly keep it on your wrench and put the receiver in the upright position and install from the bottom so it does not fall off. There we go. Awesome. All right. Now, let's see. Get in there. Where are you at? Now, my fix-it stick will not reach this bottom one. So this one has to be done off of memory and where it's at, and off of feel. I've just done enough. I know about where it's at, but the rest of them, I do torque them, and that's about what I'm about to do right now, which is really cool. Guys, I've got a picture of these up. But like I said, these are in inch-pounds. This one does all up to 65, and I've got a small one for actually doing RMRs and top plates and stuff for from 5 pounds to 25 inch-pounds. These things are freaking awesome. So I'll stick this. Come here, get over. Well, you're not going to want to get buried in there right now. Let's see. I may have to go get an extension, which I really don't want to have to go do. Let's see, greens from... Hey, how's it going? How's it one? Cool. Oh, are you guys talking? Cool. That's hanging out. All right. Well, I'm not going to hop up and go get an extension at the moment. I can do these by hand. I'll come back and gauge them after the stream. I would not recommend you guys don't do this. Like I said, make sure that you get them set up properly. Let's see. I have the NATO AUG after. I'm sure there's some company, like the company that makes the clear Glock mags. They might make a clear AUG or an AR style mag that might check out. Let's see. 190 is put up to you, Derek. Magpul, AC Utility Lancer, and MWG. So, Magpul makes a mag at least. Well, it's over there. Comparing the original waffle mag to like a P mag for the standard AUG, I've actually started in this process of testing the two of them. I'm really actually liking the P mag better for the, over the waffle mag, strictly on the entry and removal when stripping and pulling the mag. Now, I'm going to test for durability. That's a whole different one. But so far, for some reason, the lockup going into the stock, the PMAG with the Corvos Defense extra large butterfly mag release just seems to bite a lot faster. It's easier for some reason when I actually install them doing 2-gun. So I'll grab this here and show you. Make sure the overlords don't. There ain't nothing in it. It's just a stock. I've got the Corvos, the extra large mag button. This has got to be like the #1 upgrade. If you own an AUG and you can get one of these, and granted this is for the standard, I know they're expensive, but I guarantee you will be so happy if you get one of these extra large mag release buttons. But just sticking the mag in, like they slide in so easy. And the exit on them, like they've got really good retention when they go inside. Sorry, all my other mags are loaded at the moment for the other one, but I mean that's what it looks like, and no one's gonna know the difference if you've got a NATO or non-NATO. If they see you with the PMag in here, they literally would have to look at the other side of the rifle to figure it out. Like there's no way to tell until you realize that there's no dust cover for a left bolt ejection, or that they see that you actually have a bolt release mechanism on the side. So if they see it this way, you'll never know. But I do like these mags, and for the $20 that Magpul sells them for, definitely a good investment if you can't find traditional mags. All right, guys, let's see. Well, just because of really long, technical with everything, I really wasn't gonna do a bunch except for clean this thing. And actually, let me show you. Like I was telling in the beginning of this live stream and setting up, I haven't cleaned this gun in over a year, except for running a bore brush. And like literally, I took a rim oil, a bore brush, brass, ran it up and down the barrel about 5 times, and sprayed the Remington cleaner through it just to flush the barrel. I've never patched it, swabbed it, put Bore-Tech carbon degreaser or cleaner, nothing. Like oil, cleared out for some brass that was down inside the barrel, and have ran this gun. And if you've been to my range days, you've been to any demos, you've ever seen me, and you've actually seen this gun since 2018, I've never had an issue out of this thing. Like, we've never had a failure to fire, extract, load, nothing. And I've handed it over to countless people at this point. I mean, if I have to put a number onto it, I would say at least 100 other people have demoed this rifle, and we've never had a problem out of it. So in the whole cleaning atmosphere, these things, I've actually personally, I have video, I've tested it, I have shot an AUG that was and never had oil put into it for 100,000 rounds. I'll see about if I can post that video. It was a private event. I'll see if I can get permission to actually post it. But if you take the AUG Armorer's course at Steyr, you can actually ask to see that rifle. It sits inside the safe. And that was in 2018. It had 100,000 rounds. The piston inside the barrel had never been removed until we went there and did our range day. And we took it apart, check, just do an inspection, and then was told, no, we can't do that. Have to leave it alone. We're seeing how long it takes to actually make one stop working. Cool beans. Hey, Miss Tian, how are you? Okay, so getting into this thing. So kind of the rant, tell you guys how well these things work. You can see how dirty it gets here on the inside. That's the most of it. The only thing I'm going to go over, and this is going to work for either of the standard, non-NATO, doesn't matter. It's AUG, period. You guys want to know how to tune an AUG trigger and take out a bunch of the slack, a bunch of the headache, and what everybody always talks about, being a horrible trigger. This is what you're going to want to see. So, going ahead, I'm going to wipe this out just because I want it to show up on camera. Okay, this is an armory tip. This is something that I did a while ago, and I've actually even had you guys send me rifles. I tell you can do this at home yourself. What you're going to need to do to improve your trigger and take the slack out of it is adjust the trigger bars. In your standard AUG, you have 2 trigger bars that go back and touch the trigger pack. In your NATO version, you have a single trigger bar that is a rod back here. That rod runs basically from the end of this case deflector to the front of the trigger housing. So, easiest thing to do. Get the proper spec here. Let me see. Let me get the proper tool, because this one, it's just a wear item too, what I'm going to show you guys. There we go. Okay, so it takes a little Allen key. Strip your rifle down, get it to this set. When you charge the rifle, leave the trigger pack in the cocked position back here. Do not remove it, just leave it back here. So when you got your rifle, pull your mag, show clear, check it 2-3 times, take it down to this part. You got your stock. Here at the trigger, what you're gonna look for is when you move this trigger, and it's gonna be hard for you guys to see on camera, but on your AUG, the front of the trigger here will move, and there should be just a little bit of movement. I'll see if I can get this better for you. See, mine's just got a creep into it. What you're looking for is right here at the front of the trigger. If I was to depress this all the way, it actually comes out. you're looking to see how much movement is right here. You really do not want more than the thickness of a paper match. So like a 32nd of an inch. You're just looking for just a little bit to have some space in here. Literally, I could not stick a paper match, and you can see it here on the front when I move this right here of the trigger. What you're going to do is you're going to loosen up this nut. Just take your Allen, loosen this. Take yourself a knife or a flat blade screwdriver, and you will see the trigger bars in here. I'm sorry guys, you're not going to see this on camera real well, but the end of the trigger bars are up here. It looks like 2 coat hanger wires. Hold your trigger to the front and push those rods all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to, hold on, I have a flat blade for this. Flat blade screwdriver works. So I'm going to stick the screwdriver in here, and I'm going to pull down on the trigger bars while pushing up on the trigger. This is going to adjust them all the way to the back. You can actually stick the screwdriver in sideways and kind of turn it a little bit and slide the bars back. Once you have the bars pushed all the way to the back, I have to loosen this one up just a little bit more. You do not need to remove this screw all the way. You just need to loosen it. Don't put Loctite on it. And when you put this back down, it's literally just to snug. We're going to snug this up. It's actually going to pinch the trigger bars. If you over tighten it, the trigger bars run this way. If you over tighten it, you'll spread them out and make the trigger worse. So you just want to pin it down. And I will give you guys this one. All right. Basically, we'll say that's at the 12 o'clock. We're just going to rotate like halfway to 1. So just past snug. Think of this like you're tightening up a cell phone case. You don't want to, crack the plastic or crack glass. So once you have that set up, your trigger should not move and have no movement in here. And then you can reassemble it. And that's how you tune an AUG trigger real quick. You don't have to mess with nothing else. It's just tuning the trigger rods. What you can look for if you're starting to have really bad trigger on the side right here, look to see if you have any scratches, drag marks. If you do, the actual housing, the fiberglass polymer housing, might need to be dremeled out or clearanced over here with a file or some sandpaper. But if you've got any type of drag marks on the side of your trigger, it should be nice and shiny. If you've got any drag marks, or if you've got rocks from an event, that can be making your trigger get real sticky. Just make sure that's all clearanced for this to move inside. All right, let's see. That's back together. We'll put this over here. All right, we're going to reassemble it. Normally when I do these receivers, when I put optics on here or flat tops, 24 hours, let the Loctite, let it all dry up before you take it to the range. I would not recommend to do this and instantly go to the range. Night before, so just fair warning, let it dry, let it sit there. But I would at least I'd do it the night before going to the range, so 10-12 hours at minimum, but 24 is the actual number. All right, we're going to reinstall the receiver back in. Push the clip. There we go. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and pull this mag carrier off because I'm going to work on the back. Okay, let's see. Have you tried the Ratworks trigger upgrade, and do you recommend? I do have one. That box over here from the last live stream, there is one in the bottom of the box that one of you guys sent me. I'm going to test it and play with it. I've stated this in the past. I have shot an AUG with one in it, and I have shot my AUG with no trigger work except for what I just showed you on how to adjust the trigger bars. That's all that's done, I swear. I could not tell a difference at that point in time. Now, I'm going to try it my gun. I'm going to see if there's any improvements. I did not inspect the other AUG. I was just told, hey, this has got the Ratworks trigger components, and you know, we've worked on it. It was just handed to me. I tried half a mag. It shot, it worked. I really couldn't tell you a difference. So, with that being said, not to be biased or anything, would I run out and go buy one instantly? No. I would shoot my AUG, put some rounds on it, and enjoy it. But if you want to tinker and play with it, you kind of do it at your own peril. If you like it, don't like it. I'm going to review one and test it. I will tell you what I think after running it in my AUG and actually putting the time into building it out. I'll let you know when I get to it. All right, going to do the QD sling mount for the rear. This is another Midwest Midwest Industries product. Come here. That is one thing I recommend in the back of the AUG that goes into the trigger pack. Midwest has this one. I know Corvos has one also. Let me throw that down here. But I like the QD, the quick discount for getting your sling off the gun. I like that a whole lot. Now, just to test out these, that's really cool. It's got two different mounts for the top. And they are actually anti-rotational. About 100 degrees. So I will show you guys. There's that one there. It will almost go 180 or no, it'd be 90 degrees, sorry. Almost 90 degrees worth of rotation. That's not bad. Definitely will set you up if you need to be left or right-handed. And I do run the Magpul MS4 sling. It's just not here on the table. And that was a little tight to get out. So different. Okay. To do this pin, it's really simple. Back of the buttstock, there's a dimple. Push in and then jerk out your old mount. Let's see, push in on the tail. Come here. There we go. There's your old one. And we're going to stick the new one in. All right. And there we go. And that's fully rotational. Let's see, where do I get a barrel at? An AUG barrel? PJ's has them, or just look at like AUG parts. But it's a company called PJ, I think it's PJ Gunworks or PJ Augs. He has them, and Steyr USA. Those are the only two places I know where to buy new AUG barrels. After that, typical online gun broker, arms list, your local gun shop, see if they've got one possibly. But if you're looking for a brand new one, PJ's would be one place, and then Steyr USA. Those are the only two places I know in the States to direct order a brand new barrel. All right, so there's that. Let's see here. Sitting here moving around, guys. I ordered a Leopold optic plate mount for the Delta Point, which was surprisingly, these have been out of stock for a while. I guess everybody has done the dot light thing, and I'm kind of last on the bandwagon for it, but I'm actually not even using them on a pistol. Let's see, Delta Point. I'll lay this over here. Pull this Delta Point off. Come here. Dust cover. This dust cover definitely sits on there real well. There we go. Okay, so that's the delta point I've got, and I've already got fingerprints on it. So I just actually bought the Leopold Picatinny rail mount. I've got a thing for keeping like-minded with like-minded. Let's see here. And I need a little star bit. Alright, for sure you guys are going to get to see me use these fix-it sticks on getting this in here. Give me just 1 second. The most RMRs, be the Delta Point, Hollow Sun, or Triticon, the torque values for their screws range between 10 inch-pounds to 12 inch-pounds. So do be very careful. You don't want to break an optic. And actually, that's probably the one I was looking for. And it was. I knew I had that one. Okay, so the mini fix-it stick, and I'm going to set these, which is nice, to 10 inch-pounds. And you get a nice precise movement here on them. That's it. It also works really well too when you set for optics and everything. If you guys haven't seen the big bolt action, it's got all types of spur mounts, and you have to get those up to 50 and 60 inch-pounds, and they need to be precise. That's the big reason I really like the fix-it sticks getting into there. So we'll check. It's actually the same. Guys, we're getting kind of close, and this one's definitely ran for a while tonight. So I'm going to get most of this here finished up or buttoned up. Ooh, that's definitely going to be a different set here for this RMR to go. But I'll let you guys get in your last questions or anything that we're going to do before we call it a night. Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. Well, we'll pin it there for the moment and see what it looks like. Like I said, I've even got a set of battle sights, possibly to go ahead and throw on here also. Yeah. It's been a while since I messed with these mag pulls. I've forgotten how you actually have to pull the whole rod out. So I'll slide those up. And install them. Hopefully that will not interfere with the actual optic. Let's see how to pull that. I want the sight radius to be as long as possible. Also, guys, if you're not familiar, I help out and do another channel called the EDC Games. If you guys are into two-gun and actually like to see this stuff being ran in real-world scenarios, check out the EDC Games on YouTube. You can see what I'm doing there. And if you're actually in the West Tennessee area, we do games once a month. Next one is this upcoming Saturday. So let's see. Yes. You can actually look through the RMR and see the dot. And if we fold this down, dot works. So technically we could run battle sites. They're just a little hard. I don't know. So far, what you guys think? We'll make some adjustments and we'll tune and play with this. All right, well let's see what it looks like with a barrel. And there we go. Well, I'll get some more pictures out of what this thing looks like and we'll play with it. So I'm going to tweak and mess with this a little bit longer. I think that's going to be it for tonight. If you guys got any questions or anything, I'm going to finish doing some torque values, mess with this, clean it up, and install some other, put the optic back over, or the light back over here, and we'll see what else we can get into. So I think that's it. Nobody else has posed any more questions for the evening. Well, guys, I appreciate the hangout, and I know, you know, this went a little long for the, you know, 2 different streams and the one being taken down for a moment. So I appreciate you being here. Like I said, I will upload a full video without any breaks and stuff into it of the live stream in case this comes down. So I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feel free, leave a comment. You can email me at tnsteyer@gmail.com if you need to talk with me more personable. There's also a telephone number. We can talk on the phone or Facebook, face video if you're out of the country. I'll help you out if I can. All right, guys. Well, that's it. I'll put this one together. I'll get some cool pictures out for this week, and I'm going to run this at the EDC games on Saturday. So we'll see how this rail system works and a lot with the other mag pouches, AUG, you know, extra magazines, everything. We're going to take a bunch of this stuff out. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all. Have a good evening. Let's see. I don't know. You guys still might be here. Letting everything shut down. It's taking a moment. Let's see. If you guys stay here, add the M-Lock bipod. Yes, I will have to. Where's that at? I will have to see where to install that. I think that goes on the side. So we'll have to open it up and try it. And it's funny because I'm watching myself on the computer. I guess you guys are still here. I'm guessing the system's not wanting to end the live stream. All right, so if you're still here until this thing decides that it wants to end because it's told to do so, or I have to get up. M-Lock bipod. Okay, so it's actually individual pieces. Awesome. And done bit myself. Let's see. I will have to actually see how it rotates around. So, ooh, that is like right there at the charge handle. So they will have to go forward. Alright guys, well I'm going to have to step around the camera because we have lost signal on the one side and it's just going to keep recording me, and I'm sitting here looking at stuff for the first time out the box on how to install it to this rail top mount. So, again, good evening.